Median is generally the middlemost observation of given data obtained after arranging all values in ascending or descending order. Generally, we will always be arranging all the observations in the ascending order, but median can be obtained in both the ways. Either you arrange in the ascending order or in the descending order. Both the ways median can be always obtained. Now generally there are different formulas for calculation of median depending on what kind of data is given to you. For a raw data we are having a different formula. For a discrete or a ungrouped data there is a different formula, as well as for a group data we are having some other way of calculation of the median. So we will be seeing all the values one by one. Now see, suppose in case you have a number line, I know. Suppose if I have the values from 0 to 100, and if this value is 50, it is dividing the entire data into two equal parts. So this is the middlemost value of the data, which can be called as median, because it is dividing the data into exactly two equal parts. When we say the middlemost observation, so middlemost observation is that value which is dividing the data into exactly two equal parts. Okay, now how do we calculate this? Let us see this. For raw data, when you talk about raw data, you will be given the information of only the observations. So when only observations are given without any other information of frequency or the classes or anything else, then in such a case there can be two different options available for us. Option 1, number of observations is odd number. Option 2, number of observations is even number. In case if it is odd number of observation, we say that median is equal to n plus 1 upon the 2th observation. Obviously after arranging data in the ascending order. In case of even number of observations, we say that median is the simple average, or you can say mean, of two middle numbers. But again you have to remember this, it is after arranging the data in hmm, no, as I told you, you can arrange the data in ascending or descending both. But generally, for simplicity, we just remember one case in the ascending order. So I always follow that method with ascending order. Obviously, with descending order also there is no other method. But then I follow the uniform pattern of arranging always in the ascending order. If your school teacher or if you decide to do it in the descending order, nobody is going to stop you, and even you won't get any less marks or no marks for doing it in the descending order. Okay, so let's take an example for this. Come on. The question can tell, find median of following observations. Suppose the numbers are 2, 5, 3, 8, 9, 6 and say 7. So if you observe, you are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So here n is equal to 7. We assume that n denotes the number of observations, and we have to say that the ascending order is generally it is from small to big. So we start with 2, then it is 3, then it is 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So as per my formula, I can say that median is equal to n plus 1 upon the 2th observation. N is 7, so 7 plus 1 will come out to be 8. So 8 upon 2th observation, which is just the 4th observation. और यहाँ पर the 4th observation is 6. So I get that median is equal to 6. Let us take one more example for even number of cases. Just write the numbers along with me, all of you. Example 2. Find median of the following: 12, 17, 10, 18, 22, 10, 16. And suppose if you are having, let's say 15. These are the numbers that are given to us. And if you observe, there are 8 observations. So I would say that n over there is equal to 8, which is an even number. So first thing that we will do is we will again find out the observations in the ascending order. Once again, the smallest observation I can see over here is 10, but it is repeating twice. So in case if any number is coming twice or thrice, we have to consider that when we are doing it in the ascending order. So first I will write 10 for 2 times. Then the next value that we are having over here is 12. Then it is 15, 16, 17, 18. And then the last number is 22. So there are all 8 numbers available in the ascending order now. So if I use my formula, it says that median is equal to mean of 2 middle observations. So what are the two middle observations over here? If you observe 15 and 16, below 15 there are three numbers, above 16 there are three numbers. So these are the two middle observations over there. So I can say that it is equal to mean of 15 and 16. Now it's very simple. How do we calculate mean? We just take 15 plus 16 divided by 2. So 15 plus 16 is going to be 31, and when I divide 31 by 2, you can easily say that the answer is 15.5. Okay, see, when we talk about median, in our last lecture we had seen that median is the middlemost observation of the given data, and we had seen the formula for calculation of the raw data. Now today you have to see the calculation for the median in case of the discrete and the continuous or the group data, as we say. So let us first of all understand for the discrete data, then we will understand for the continuous data also. So give the heading, everybody. Median for the discrete data, and write down point number 1. First, calculate the cumulative frequency of the less than type. Then point number 2, median formula is capital N plus 1 upon the 2th observation. So this is the two important steps that we have to apply. Now let me explain you with the help of a small example. You can copy down it along with me. Suppose if you are given the values of heights of students, let us say in inches, and number of students, which we'll always consider as the frequency. The heights in inches are given to be 70, 75, 80, 85 and 90. 3, 7, 10, 6 and 4. If this kind of a data is given to us, this kind of a data is actually called as the discrete data, or I had also given you one more name called as ungrouped data. So whether you call it as discrete or ungrouped, both are exactly same. Okay, so in this particular case we have to first calculate the value of cumulative frequency of less than type. Now the question is, how do we calculate the cumulative frequency? In case if you don't know, just see, it's very easy. Whatever is the first frequency, just copy it down as it is, and then do the addition with the next number. So the next value over here is 7. So 3 plus 7 is 10. The next is 10 plus 10, that is 20. Next is 20 plus 6, that is equal to 26. And the last is 4. So 26 plus 4, which is equal to 30. So a simple idea that you can remember over here, whatever is the last entry is always the total of the frequency column. So I can directly say n is equal to 30. Now listen guys very carefully. Now don't write, just listen. In case if you are writing, just stop. I'll give you time to write it later on. Over here, over here, we say that median is equal to capital N plus 1 upon the 2th observation, and you know that N is 30, so I can say it is 31 upon 2th observation, which is actually 15.5th observation. Now just listen very carefully. How do I get the 15.5th observation? We have to write a small statement over here. You have to say, since cumulative frequency just greater than 15.5 is 20, therefore value corresponding to 20 over here is 80, and hence I say that median is equal to 80 inches. Guys, never forget to write the units that are given to us in the question, because as you all know that units will also carry the marks. Okay, so let's write the steps for our median for the group data. Step number 1. Check if all classes are continuous. If it is discontinuous, then we make it continuous. Point number 2. Calculate cumulative frequency of less than type. Number 3. Calculate the value of n upon 2 observation. Now one very important point that you need to remember over here guys, in case of raw data and in case of the discrete data, we used to calculate the value of n plus 1 by 2, whereas in case of group data it is necessary that you calculate the value of n upon 2. You don't need to take the value of n plus 1 upon 2 because the formula can be directly adjusted based on the n upon 2th observation only. After that, next point is how do we make the ogive? How do we calculate the cumulative frequency curve? So point number 2, that is point number 4 now. Draw x and y axis and take the upper limits of classes on x-axis and cumulative frequency values on the y-axis. Point number 5. Plot all upper limits of classes corresponding to their respective cumulative frequencies. Point number 6. Join the points and make a freehand curve to make an ogive. This ogive is actually also called as cumulative frequency curve. Then search for value of n by 2 on y-axis and from that point draw a line parallel to x-axis till it touches the ogive. From the point where from this point we should say from this point on ogive draw a perpendicular to x-axis. This point on x-axis gives the median. The question tells us the classes and the corresponding frequencies. You can write it along with me. The classes are 0 to 10. And 8. So with the help of all these values, we will first of all calculate the column for cumulative frequency. So as you all know, the first value should be copied down same to same, so it is 4. 4 and 9, that is going to give you 13. 13 and 15, that is going to give you 28. 28 plus 14, that is going to give you 42, plus 8, that is 50. So the total of the frequency column n comes out to be equal to 50. After calculating the cumulative frequency, we have to calculate the value of n upon 2th observation. So when I take 50 upon 2th observation, that is nothing but the 25th observation. So over here, what we have to do is, these are the upper limits of the classes and these are the lower limits of the classes. So we have to represent the upper limits of the classes on the x-axis and the cumulative frequency values on the y-axis. So let us draw the graph in that case. Y-axis and the x-axis, and this is our origin. So upper limits have to be taken, so we will take over here 10. In fact, we can take a distance of 2, so it would be a better representative. And 50 on the x-axis, whereas on the y-axis the values are from 4 up till 50. So suppose if I take a scale of 5, so it will require more space. Better let us take a scale of 10. And 50. Alright. So now these points, the value 10 has to be correspondingly plotted with 4. So the first value over here is 10. Let us take 4 approximately over here. The next value is 20 corresponding to the value 13. It has to be approximately at this point. The next is 20, 30 corresponding to the value as 28. So it will be just below 30. The next value is 40 corresponding to 42. So probably slightly above 40. And the last value 50 corresponds to the value of 50. So it's like over here. So as I told you, these points have to be joined with a free hand without any scale or anything. So I get something like this. Now after this, if you observe your next step, it says that search for the value n upon 2th observation on the y-axis. So on the y-axis the value 25 comes somewhere over here, and from this point you have to draw a line parallel to x-axis till it is going to touch the ogive. So let us draw a line which is parallel to x-axis and it passes through this point and touches the ogive at this point. So from this particular point we have to draw a perpendicular from this point till the x-axis. So once again, yes, so we get this line. So this point where our perpendicular line touches the x-axis becomes our median. So in this case we can say that the median is approximately 29. Give the heading quartiles and write the definition. When given data is arranged in ascending order and is divided into 4 equal parts, then there are 3 points of division called as the quartiles. Now let us understand this with the help of a number line. Suppose if I have a scale, let us say from 0 to 100, and I want to divide this into 4 parts. So for dividing the scale into 4 parts, I require 3 points Q1, Q2 and Q3. So these 3 points, they are called as the quartiles, and first, second, 3 and 4. So these are the 4 parts, and the points of division are called as the quartiles. If you observe, because it is a scale from 0 to 100 and there are 4 equal parts, I can say that each part consists of 25% of the total data. So from the graph, I understand one very important point. Below Q1, there is only 25% of the data or the observations, but above Q1, there are 25, 25 and 25, 75% of the observations. Same way, if you observe above Q2, below Q2, 25 and 25, there are 50% values. Above Q2 also there is 50% of the observations. Whereas in case of Q3, below Q3, 25, 25 and 25, 75% of the observation lies, whereas above Q3 there is only 25% of the observation. This is just for your information. Probably इतना हाई लेवल का आपको नहीं पूछेंगे, बट स्टिल जस्ट यू शुड नो कि एग्जैक्टली व्हाट वी आर डूइंग, तो इसलिए मैं बता दिया है तुम लोगों को. इफ़ यू ऑब्जर्व दिस Q2, below Q2 there is 50% data, above Q2 also there is 50% data. So I can say that Q2 is dividing the scale into 50-50, and when a certain observation divides the data into 50-50, that value can also be called as the median. So guys, second quartile also corresponds to the value of median. Is that clear?